Welcome to Friday Night Magic here at GameSwap Mason, brought to you by Top Dark Productions. This is round 2 of 4 for our Modern. I'm Zachary Creamer, and I will be doing commentary tonight. For round 2, we've got Matt Shaw versus Hunter Wagner. Matt Shaw is on blue-white control, and Hunter is on Jeskai. You all might remember Hunter. He was our Season 3 PPTQ winner. He won the tournament with Elves. But tonight, we have him on Jeskai. This is going to be another long one. 2 control decks going at it, but as long as they maintain the good pace of play, they may actually be able to finish this. Yeah, the Ancestral Vision is big game here. This game is going to go long. They're going to see a lot of cards. And just being able to, just being able to have the right answers for, like let's say Hunter decides to go for it at any point. If Matt has an efficient answer for Hunter's threat, he gets to come out ahead. I think Hunter wants to play a more aggressive game here. Could be wrong, but I think he's on the beatdown, so to speak. Cards like Lightning Bolt and Lightning Helix don't really have a lot of targets, so they can just go face. And the longer this game goes, the more cards Matt's going to see, and the more Hunter's going to get like pushed out of this game. Jeskai has an advantage in this matchup in the sense that he can the Jeskai deck can switch gears. It can be a beatdown and then switch into more of a control game depending on its draw. The white-blue deck, on the other hand, kind of just has to execute on its game plan the same as always. I see a couple of board wipes in Matt's hand. Have to imagine that's because he thought Hunter was on Elves. Go wide deck of some sort. I see 2 Supreme Verdicts, maybe even a Terminus in his hand. There's 2 Supreme Verdicts and a Cryptic Command. Man, he just has stone cold nothing. It's interesting. Because the players don't know the cards in each other's hands, it can lead to a lot of misplays. Like Hunter could just go for it here because Matt has nothing. He just has stone cold nothing. And Hunter wouldn't be punished for that. But he has no way of knowing that. What he sees from his side of the battlefield is Cryptic Command mana. Is Logic not mana. Matt going on the beatdown here. Good old snap beats. Drew some more snaps, more removal on Matt's side. And that's really what the white-blue deck is tuned for right now. There's all these go-wide decks. There's all these go-wide decks in Modern right now, and that's why they're playing like Supreme Verdict and Terminus, and it's just to maximize on that. And then you also have to beat Tron. You know? And I think that's really what the blue-white deck is tuned for. It's like, I'm going to beat your creature deck, and I'm going to try and beat Tron. It can sideboard in more counter spells. I think that's what we'll see here. I'm bringing more counter spells for game 2. Negates, ceremony, negate, dispel, disdainful stroke. Disdainful stroke. Another card getting reprinted in the Return to Ravnica. Guilds of Ravnica. New art. Needed it. Not everyone's going to be a fan of a Naga with a flag and a sword. This one's got a really sweet Dimir agent slicing a scroll in half. Just saying. Which one would you prefer? So here's Hunter going on the beatdown, playing a glorified burn strategy. His burn deck has Snapcaster Mage in it. It's kind of how I think of the Jeskai deck. It's the way the Jeskai deck can play. You just snap and bolt and helix. There's a second Snapcaster Mage out of Hunter. This one can go defense while the other goes offense. Or they can both go. Or they can both go offense. Isn't this fun? There's a cryptic command. There you go. Lots of cryptic commands. Let's see what we got here. We're going to path the Snapcaster Mage. I think Matt's okay with that. The mana advantage is huge in control matchups. Not to be understated. You want to hit a land every single turn. It's all about the mana. I know that when I have to play a control game against my aggro opponents or even against other control players, when I stock up my spells, I need to be able to fire them off, and that takes mana. It's really important. Most important resource in the game. For those who didn't know. It's Magic 101 there, ladies and gentlemen. Mana is the most important resource. I think I see a Wrath of God in Matt Shaw's graveyard. If I was Hunter, that would indicate to me that he is not playing Terminus. These lists usually have 3 to 4 Terminus, and then Supreme Verdict to supplement that. Seeing as we have a Wrath of God in the graveyard, that would indicate to me that my opponent does not have Terminus. So Matt has or is in the process of stabilizing, and now he's going to try to turn the corner with this Elspeth. Jeez Louise. Elspeth. Every time I read this card, I just struggle to understand how it exists. Oh, and he has the tokens. Thank goodness. Nothing tilts me more than when my opponent, who is playing a deck that makes tokens, does not have the tokens, and Matt has them. Which is great. Which is great. Yeah, Elspeth, man, I read this card and I'm just like, wow. There's a card that does this. That's insane. It's actually just insane. Hunter needs more bolts. And then he has to pick a spot. Yeah, he needs to just needs some more bolts. There's there's Lightning Helix, which slows Matt down, adds more turns to the clock. But this Elspeth is just going to run away with the game. It's going to win him the game. In this case, the Elspeth, and in this case, the modes on Elspeth are win the game eventually, protect itself, win the game eventually. Because just making 3 tokens every turn not only protects itself, but can also win you the game. And here's the timely reinforcements, just to, you know, gain Matt 6 life. 3 mana sorcery speed gains 6 life. That's a completely reasonable Magic card. Definitely worth having in the main deck. Doesn't even get 3 dudes. Just saying. So, yeah, I think Hunter's seen enough. He can't beat that Elspeth. Happens to the best of us. It's a hell of a card. And now we're going to go into game 2. So Matt gets to take out all of his do-nothing board wipe spells. Bring in more counter magic. And Hunter has to figure out a way to deal with this Elspeth. While they're figuring that out, I'll take this opportunity to remind everyone that if they like to support us, don't forget you can do so by giving us a follow here on Twitch. Doing so will let you know when we go live. Just saying. So you can be a follower on Twitch, a subscriber on Top Deck Productions. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link that with your Twitch account to get 1 free Twitch sub each and every month. And there's also our Patreon page at patreon.com/TopDeckProductions. Your subscriptions help us support events like the Tuesday Night Modern League and continued improvements to the stream. And if you become a $10 patron, you get 3 standard legal packs. That's kind of a deal. So yeah, if you enjoy the stream, be selfish. Send us money. You like what you see here and you want more of it, make that happen. Make sure that you get more stream. Just saying. Who's going to the pre-release tonight? And if you are going, what guild did you sign up for? I'll remind everyone that we only have 4 rounds tonight because we are doing our pre-release tonight just like everyone else. So we're going to cut it a little short so that we can set up for the pre-release, which I will be playing in. I'm going to play Boros. And I'm going to try to play in the ones on Saturday and Sunday as well, and play a different guild each time so that I can get a feel for the sealed, the limited environment, and prepare for this season's PPTQs. Speaking of PPTQs, as I mentioned earlier, Hunter Wagner won our Season 3 PPTQ, which qualifies him for the RPTQ in December. If you want to watch that video or any of our other videos, you can do so on our YouTube page at youtube.com/TopDeckProductionsStream. It's a pretty good match. Him taking down the finals, have to say. Yep, there it is. Top Deck Production stream. I think a lot of people are going to make the mistake of playing Golgari because they want Assassin's Trophy and the new Vraska, whereas the Golgari is actually the worst in Limited. But who cares? You pull that $35 rare that pays for your pre-release, right? you know, literally all the other guilds are better, but who cares? You got Assassin's Trophy. So there you go. Personally, I think that the time is better spent trying to learn the format, get a good deck, and building the best deck that you can out of your pool, and then enjoy playing it. You know, who cares what colors you're in? Undergrowth leaves a lot to be desired in a limited setting. Just saying. Matt is going to 5, and Hunter has kept his hand. You know, other iterations of this blue-white deck, I really couldn't see how they. I really don't see how they could lose the Jeskai to the Jeskai deck, but the current iteration, the Miracles iteration of the white-blue, I don't know. Really doesn't seem like it would have all that good of a Jeskai matchup. But we'll see. Looks like he likes his 5 and is putting the card on the bottom. We're going to see a Flooded Strand. Hollow Fountain. Come on. Hollow Fountain. There we go. And he's playing it untapped so that he can opt at the end of the turn. The end of Hunter's turn. Or you could opt now. Doesn't want it to get countered. It's not getting countered. We'll see. Oh boy. So I would really like to see a Baneslayer Angel or a Lyra Dawnbringer from either one of these players. Baneslayer Angel first, then Lyra. If you only have room, or if you only make room for one of them, it's Baneslayer Angel. Baneslayer Angel's better. And then Lyra, if you want to play a second one. No reason not to do a split. You might live the dream of having both of them out. I've seen it. It's terrifying. Our stream runner brings up an interesting point in that you want to play Lyra over Baneslayer Angel because Image, if you Phantasmal Image a Lyra, they'll both die. What? No, that doesn't work anymore. Humans can't have 2 Lyras, but can have 2 Baneslayer Angels. Okay, so it's not the first Phantasmal Image, it's the second Phantasmal Image. So they Phantasmal Image your Lyra, great, you're at parity. They get a second Phantasmal Image, they can't Phantasmal Image your Lyra again. Okay, but they could do that on the Baneslayer Angel. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Robert. Here we see Baneslayer Angel. This card's a house. For a while, when it was in Standard, it was the best card in Standard. And now we have Lyra Dawnbringer, which is basically that, but supports Angel Tribal, which, if it is a deck, I would like to play that deck. Yeah, so the second if you were to copy Lyra so here's Lyra Dawnbringer, and if you copy Lyra Dawnbringer with Phantasmal Image, if you're a Humans player, your blue-white control opponent has Lyra Dawnbringer out, you can copy it with your Phantasmal Image. Now you both have a Lyra Dawnbringer. Say you draw another Phantasmal Image. Well, the second Phantasmal Image can't copy the Lyra. I mean, it could, but then it'll just die. One of them will die, and then you'll still just both have a Lyra Dawnbringer. So, God, that's so marginal. Lyra's also cheaper and probably easier to get, so card availability. Our stream runner is asking, when is Pro Demons and Dragons relevant? And I'll have you know that a Scred Dragons deck won a classic 2 months ago. So there. No, it's funny though. Most played dragon in the format is Stormbreath Dragon. It has Pro White. It is Pro White. Baneslayer Angel and Stormbreath Dragon just fly right past each other out of mutual respect. Maybe a little bit of fear, but hysterical. Yeah, and that's why the I guess the Lyra is favored. That's fine. That's fine. I think you just play one of each. Here we see Matt has a Leyline of Sanctity that he's just going to hard cast. He's going to drop it under the table. What are you going to do about it? Hunter should absolutely fetch Shock, fire off this Lightning Helix, untap, and play his... That's coming in untapped, right? No. Okay. So he's just going to untap and play... He's going to untap and play his Baneslayer Angel. See, Hunter has a Baneslayer Angel in his hand. Hunter has the Baneslayer Angel. I think I also saw a Lyra in his deck when he was searching earlier. Snap beats. Play the Baneslayer Angel. There we go. Man, Baneslayer Angel is sweet. I also saw an Elspeth in his hand. Is that common? Are people playing the Elspeth in the sideboard? As like another walker? I mean, Elspeth is Bay. This one's fine. It's not the pack. It's not the pack art. Not bad, though. Elspeth is the champion of the sun. A master of karate and friendship for everyone. Oh, and there we see the path. Man. Matt left in path. Path is Baneslayer Angel. So sad. Yeah, it's just interesting that both of these control players have Elspeth in their 75, whereas I don't know if that's actually, like, a thing that people do. I think it's mostly, like, Jace and Teferi. But Elspeth, I mean... Elspeth's a heck of a card. Man, this ley line's annoying. That was Hunter's whole plan. Bolts and angels, dude. Hopefully I get to do a bit of that in, hopefully we all get to do a little bit of that in Standard. Play angels, play bolts. It's gonna be sweet. That's nice of Matt, letting Hunter use the token. So now we get to see Elspeth dominate this game as well, except on Hunter's side. Wouldn't that be great if Elspeth wins game 3 also? You know, whole match is just down to who can stick Elspeth. Ain't life grand? Oh, does Matt have a land and a Baneslayer Angel of his own? There we go. I think he does. It's also got Gideon in his graveyard. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think that's a Baneslayer Angel. So we're going to see another Baneslayer Angel here. But then Elspeth's minus will kill that. Right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater. And Baneslayer Angel has 5 power. And toughness. And flying. And first strike. And lifelink. And protection from demons. And protection from dragons. Yeah. Both of these players have a flipped Escanta, which is cool. I hope Hunter remembers that. And they both get to just do the card selection thing, card advantage thing. There we go. Just throwing them at him now. Taste of your own medicine. Here's a Najani. Wow. And that's going to get Spell Quellered. And that Spell Queller gets to block these soldier tokens. Ajani Vengeant, everyone. Jeez Louise. What year is this? I was pretty sure this was 2018. Both of these players know that Jace has been unbanned and that Teferi has been printed, right? I mean, if it works, it works. That's a Johnny Vengeant, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Pretty sure that should have just been Jace. But what are you going to do? And Matt's going to get his beatdown on. He's just going to race. Just has to race here. Swings with both the Spell Queller and the Celestial Colonnade. I don't hate it. Yeah, Hunter needs to Helix before the, just a heads up to everyone, you want to Helix before the attackers are declared, so that if Matt wants to answer the Helix, he has to tap down the Celestial Colonnade. Just saying, you know, just in general. That's something you want to do. I see a Runed Halo in Matt's hand. Unfortunately, that has to name an actual card. I don't think that you can name Soldier Token. But it can name, like, Celestial Colonnade. It can name Baneslayer Angel or Lyra Dawnbringer. That's interesting. Runed Halo. Something that picked up popularity when Valakut was very popular last year. You could name Valakut the Molten Pinnacle with it and not have to worry about damage. Okay, we're going to have a spell battle over this Baneslayer Angel. Yeah, not really. Yeah. All right, we're going to go into Game 3. We got plenty of time. These games have each taken 20 minutes. Well, actually, no. 15 minutes. So we got plenty of time. And in that time, I'm going to use it to remind everyone that if you want to rewatch the match you're seeing now, or if you missed round 1, you're just tuning in, don't forget that we archive all of our replays at youtube.com/TopDeckProductionsStream. If you're itching to follow us elsewhere on social media, give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/TopDeckProductions. And be sure to check out TopDeckProductions.com for player deck lists, league standings, and more. So Game 3. We got to see a little bit more from... We got to see the decks that the players sideboarded into, and so now they can readjust. I bet Matt wasn't expecting an Elspeth out of Hunter, an Elspeth or an Ajani Vengeance out of Hunter's side. So now he can bring in cards to prepare for that. Maybe Hunter wasn't expecting Spellqueller. So there you go. Yep. Yep, yep. Shuffling up. And if they continue to play at the pace that they were playing at, I don't really see us worrying about time so much. About going to time. You always have to keep... Time is definitely a resource when you're playing control. Especially when you're playing against control. Time is absolutely something that you have to keep an eye on. A draw is basically a loss. It's not as bad, but it's definitely something that you want to try to avoid. That is interesting. Stream Runner, thank you. So apparently if there was a card named Soldier, you could have protection from it. You could name Soldier and have protection from it. That's cool. But because it's not actually a card, you can't. When Rune Halo is cast against me, it usually names Eidolon, which not only prevents combat damage, but it's triggered ability as well. And then I end up only taking the damage. And that's not good. Runed Halo is quite the card. I would like for it to be reprinted so you can get new art. This art is very set specific. And the card's also pretty expensive. It's like $40 or something. It's a lot. So, yeah. Here we see Opt. I like the Pirate Ops better. Maybe I'll get to play that. If not in Standard, then in Modern. I want to play Storm eventually. I just have to get over the physical process of storming off. Yeah, it's something I'm looking into. Just another good deck to have. I think of Storm as the ultimate tournament player deck because it's cheap and always, you know, powerful. You can put it together and then just start grinding tournaments and making money. And it's something. It's a deck where you can be wholly and completely focused on your game plan and just learning that, and then the once per game that you have to interact with your opponent. There's also a really great community of people who play Storm, know the deck inside and out, and you can learn from them. Not every deck has that. Not every deck has that. Both sides are up to Cryptic Command mana, but Matt has a Search for Skanta. That's really big here. What's he doing? Gonna put a land into play tapped here and send it back to Hunter. Got a question in the chat. Was Thousand Year Storm going to see modern play? That's the 6 mana enchantment, right? Okay, pretty sure that answers the question. Both decks developing their mana bases, which is important, continuing to hit their land drops. They're hitting their land drops. That's what's going on. Hitting their land drops. Setting up. I think Hunter's going to make a move here. What we got? We got Helix. Yeah. Take that. What you know about that? End step, too. That's great. Is that... What was that one with a white text? Was that a negate? Probably a negate. Probably a Jace negate. From the Vault Jace. Yo, dog, I heard you like Jace. There's a card with white text in Hunter's hand. I think it's negate. So Hunter's going to go for the Teferi here, and he's waited to... and he's waited to have 7 mana so that he can hold up negate. Matt is going to throw this Cryptic Command onto the table, and that's a disdainful stroke, ladies and gentlemen. Disdainful stroke in the house, and it's going to work. That's what I like to see. That's big game for Hunter. Way to go. Nice play. Waited to have 7 mana so that he could cast his 5 mana Planeswalker, hold up negate, and hope for the best. And it worked. Matt's answer cost 4 mana. That was his only answer, in spite of representing 3 other mana. And didn't have an answer for Hunter's answer. So Hunter got to stick his threat. Big game. Teferi in the house. Gonna show what's up. There we go. We all know who's boss. We all know who's boss. Dominaria really reminded us of that. And Matt's going to play his own. Negate. Big game. Man, these... Man, Hunter with the... Hunter with the very... With the well-timed counter magic. Disdainful stroke. Negate. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now Matt has nothing. He has a Supreme Verdict in hand. I don't know what that's for. Just kidding. It's for Baneslayer Angel. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That, Colonnade. Colonnade is out of here. Yeah, like that might have been a little greedy on Hunter's part. I think he could have just like he could have held up Cryptic Command, and then if Matt doesn't do anything, he can fire off some burn spells. Now it kind of leaves Matt, like Matt gets to untap, and Hunter only has... Hunter's going to get to untap 2 of these lands. And there we go. He's going to untap 2 of these lands. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, I like that. He's going to untap the Field of Ruin. Yeah, that's good. But I think Hunter got a little greedy there, especially considering that he has burn spells in his hand that he can fire off. He's Cryptic Command. He has options. He has options. I think he should get those burn spells out of his hand, and then he can start going on the Celestial Colonnade beats. Here's a flip Discanta. See what Matt can find. Snapcaster Mage, Supreme Verdict. It's Supreme or nothing. Supreme. Bolt. Here's where I think Hunter's going to try and close the game here. We're just going to bolt. What's he doing? We're going to activate his Kanta. We're going to flash in the Snapcaster Mage. What's the play here? I think someone's being ironic in the chat about Thousand Year Storm, seeing play in Storm. Card is not better than Pyromancer's Ascension. There are a lot of things that you can ramp onto the field. Doesn't make it better. Can't play it on turn 2. Don't get to untap with it turn 3. That's right. Okay. Tap land. I like it. Main phase opt. The pirate opt. God, that card is sweet. Who likes opt? Isn't opt great? Opt is great. So glad it's in Modern now. I hope they keep reprinting it. Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin was a really great pickup. It's kind of made Ghost Quarter obsolete. You might think it's a little greedy for like a 3-color deck like Hunter's to have a colorless land in it, but it actually helps him fix his mana. That's some good stuff. I see a Teferi, a Baneslayer Angel, and 2 lands. So maybe Matt gets to have a Teferi of his own here. What's he snapping? What's he snapping back? What's he snapping back? Cryptic Command? Ooh, are we going to see a Cryptic Command bounce Teferi? What are we doing? Bounce Teferi, draw a card? All right, Hunter, what do you got, boy? What do you got? You got your own Cryptic Command. Or are you going to snap Disdainful Stroke? Right? He's thinking about it. I think we're going to snap Disdainful Stroke. And this might be a bait play out of Matt. Like, okay, go ahead. Go for it. Counter the Cryptic Command. See if I care. I'm going to untap and play my own Teferi. Like a boss. Like a boss. And then it'll be Teferi versus Teferi. Dual deck Teferi versus Teferi. Does everything, saves everybody. Hero of the story. Not any of the other Gatewatch. Nope. It's Teferi. Teferi's the real hero. The hero that we not only need, but also deserve. And Matt's going to use his Teferi to tuck Hunter's Teferi. Teferi, Teferi, Teferi. And this Helix will finish off Matt's Teferi. Yeah, just leave Teferi up the rest of the time. Ooh, get the cool one. Get the cool new one. Get the one from the whatever, like the borderless one. But people gander at that. God, I wonder how much that's going to go for secondary market. It's terrifying, really. Here we go. All right, you ready for it, ladies and gentlemen? You ready to be staring down this sweetness? This glaring foil? Yeah. Look at that. That's the hero we both need and deserve. And here's Karanos. Karanos has joined the party. Wow, Hunter Wagner with the one-ofs over here, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen an Elspeth, and a Johnny Vengeant, and now a Karanos, the God of Storms. I know Robert really likes this card. Robert, what do you think of this card? You like this card, right? This card is lit. It's bananas, he says. Yeah, there's Karanos. Take a gander at that one. Indestructible. Only a creature when you have devotion, and then it gets to bolt. It gets to bolt you. Man, let's see if that ancestral comes off suspend. Animate Celestial Colonnade. Let's do it. There we go. Matt is... That's 6 life. That's 6 life. Trying to close it here. Doesn't really have much of an option. That's Karanos. It's pretty good. So I think Hunter can Cryptic bounce the Celestial Colonnade and draw a card if he wants. But he's just going to wait. Wait, there's a Dispel. Does 3 to Matt. Like a champ. Just do that 3 more times. Yeah, Karanos is pretty powerful. One of the few gods to have staying power in Eternal Magic. There we go. Hunter's going to animate his own Celestial Colonnade. Put Matt to 5. Just needs to do that again. Well, I guess Matt might leave his Celestial Colonnade back on defense, and then Hunter has yeah, a Lightning Helix. I think we're gonna see Hunter. We're gonna see Hunter take this down. Let's see Hunter take this down. Ooh, that's a good one though. There's a Spell Queller. Dang. Well. There's a Spell Queller for this Helix. Tosses it onto the board. That Helix is under. The Helix is yeah. Matt's gonna scoop it up. He's just scooping it up. Doesn't matter. Seen enough. There's the handshake. All right. Well, that was an exciting round 2 of 4 here at our Modern FNM at Top Deck Productions, brought to you here at GameSwap Mason, brought to you by Top Deck Productions. And yeah, they'll do it for round 2, and we'll be back soon enough for round 3. So stick around.